Okay, everybody. So on this MC50, MC050 substitution of attorney form, we're going to go ahead and focus it, or focus our attention rather, in pieces. So we're going to tackle this page chunk by chunk. So the first chunk is going to be this section that I've highlighted here. If you have filled out other court forms for California Civil Court, this is going to look fairly familiar to you, and it's the standard caption. So if you don't have an attorney, or if you're substituting an attorney on or off or something, the attorney's name will go here. Or if you don't have an attorney, it'll be your name and address and phone number, fax number, email address, and so on. The second box here is the address and the information for the courthouse and the county that you're in. So if it's Santa Clara County, you have to figure out the courthouse, the address of the courthouse in Santa Clara County versus San Diego County versus Los Angeles County, etc. So as long as you have, it has several different kind of fields here: street address, mailing address, city, zip code, etc. As long as you have a mailing address, so the thing is that would be a street number and street name. Some courts I've seen will also use a P.O. box. That's fine too, but as long as you have a complete mailing address of some kind, that's going to be what's critical in this section right here. So case name, that's just going to be the name of the parties. So it could be, if it's a divorce case, for example, it could be Jones versus Jones, or it could be, Williams versus Williams, or in re marriage of Williams, or it could be Smith versus Tompkins, whatever the name of the case is, usually plaintiff versus defendant, last name of plaintiff versus last name of defendant. That's going to be what you put as the case name. So over here on the right, that's going to be the case number. So this unfortunately will vary by county within California. There is no kind of standard naming scheme that I've seen. So go ahead and fill in all this information right here. I am going to hyperlink some sample substitution of attorney forms that I'm going to fill out to account for various, possible situations, like substituting an attorney on, substituting an attorney off. In both of those cases, no one is going to replace that attorney. So you're getting rid of an attorney going forward. You're on your own, or you were on your own and you're having an attorney take over the case for you. Both of those situations I'm going to cover. I'm also going to put out a substitution of attorney form that goes over the situation where you substitute one attorney on and add another one in their place. That one is also fairly common, I guess. So this same form, it covers all three situations, but a lot of times people, when they have to fill this out, they don't know how, they get really nervous, and they don't want to fill it out wrong, etc. So, yeah. So anyway, that's this first section right here. This is fairly standard. It's common to a lot of judicial council forms, I guess, in California. So the second part, which we're going to go over, is probably the meat or the real substantive part of the substitution form. And earlier I mentioned three different situations. So the thing is, it's going to be something where you have a former legal representative and then the new legal representative. So that's in general how the substitution process works. There was a representative, an attorney, a person before, an attorney or the person before, the client before, and afterwards there's going to be an attorney or the client after, but it's something that you have to actually sort out. So regardless of who the prior legal representative is, it could, if it's the party themselves, then you check this box. And if there was an attorney, you would check this box and then put whatever the attorney's name is in here. So after the substitution, the new legal representative is going to be the party themselves. That would be the case if you are substituting an attorney off the case and there's no new attorney going to be taking over, or if you are going to be having an attorney be the new representative going forward, that would be if you were doing the case yourself and you substituted a new attorney on, or you had an old attorney, you couldn't afford them, didn't like them, so you got rid of that attorney and you are going forward with a new one. So if you are going to go forward with a new attorney, you have to fill out boxes A, B, C, D here. So if you are going to add a new attorney on, you have to put the attorney's name right here, the state bar number right here. So the thing is, every attorney in California is going to have a state bar number. The if applicable is not going to really apply. I guess the if applicable part only applies if you are having the party represent themselves, in which case they're not going to have a state bar number. But anyway, if you have an attorney on the case after the substitution, you have the attorney's name, the attorney's state bar number, the name and address of the law firm, and that includes the full mailing address. That's going to be the address that the court uses to send correspondence in the case going forward. And then box D down here is the telephone number of the attorney or law firm or party if they are representing themselves. So boxes A, B, or A, C, and D are important because they go over contact information. Otherwise, the court's not going to have any idea how to send out letters, mailings, serve anything, etc. So it's a real big kind of inconvenience for the court. So this box right here, or actually these two boxes right here, those are disclaimers that, I mean, everybody should read them, of course, but it basically says that number one, there are certain restrictions on your ability to substitute a attorney on or off. And, hypothetically, if you do change an attorney or you get rid of your old attorney, you're not going to replace him or her. There are some risks that you have, I guess, by going forward on the case on your own. So hopefully that made sense. This last part to the first page, see right here, this is actually fairly important as well because it goes over all the signatures that are required. So the way that I always explain it to people is that there are three, you see the three black triangles here, and the triangles are fairly self-explanatory. So the thing is, regardless of which of the three situations you have, the client has to sign here, this first black triangle regardless. So they sign over here, they date here, and they type out their name or handwrite it or print it over here. So for box or for this top triangle, I guess the client signs regardless. So whoever the former legal representative is, maybe it's the previous attorney, maybe it's the client themselves. If they didn't have an attorney before, they would have to sign here. And obviously whoever signs here has to type or print and date over here on the left. And then the new representative, whoever that happens to be, maybe it's the party themselves if they're continuing on their own, or maybe it's the new attorney that they are hiring to take over the case, I guess. That new representative has to sign at the bottom triangle. So again, I'm going to go ahead and link a couple of sample substitution of attorney forms, and that's going to hopefully make what I just said verbally more clear, I guess, and less confusing. This form is not complicated, but I think it's not easy, I guess, is the best way to put it, because the same form is designed to handle three different situations. So the thing is, a lot of times people will go, well, I don't understand how this form applies to my situation, particularly, for example, if I didn't have an attorney before, and here, for example, it says signature of former attorney. So that's a little confusing to people for no real good reason. So I'm going to go ahead and stop here for this video, just in case you are just interested in how to fill out page number 1 for some reason. But as you can see, there's a proof of service part on page number 2 that I'm going to go over in a separate video, just in case you are only interested in page number 2. So go ahead and click to the next video in the playlist, and I will go over page 2. Thanks.